Big story we are continuing to follow tonight. Oakland Police Chief LeRonne Armstrong is on leave. A scathing report alleges the department's Internal Affairs Division is omitting misconduct in investigative reports under the chief's watch. Oakland Mayor Sheng Tao and the city administrator making the tough decision to place Armstrong on paid administrative leave.
For more insight on this decision, Judge LaDoris Cordell joins us live tonight. Judge Cordell is a former judge on the Santa Clara County Superior Court and for 5 years served as the independent police auditor for the San Jose Police Department. So she brings a unique perspective to this discussion. Judge, thank you for being with us tonight. Do you believe that the punishment that the chief is facing is fair?
The fact that he's on administrative leave, I think it's important that some action was taken because he is the leader of the department, and he signed off on a faulty and actually false investigation that was done. So I think, his rubber stamping of this and not taking the time to really delve into it, it's appropriate that some action be taken. He may be a good and decent person, but this is really, really bad stuff.
So the Oakland Police Department has been, really under the microscope for several years now, being watched, by the feds. It just seems like Oakland is a city that just hasn't been able to get it right. Is this unusual, or is this really the norm for a big city?
Well, yeah, I'd like to be able to say that Oakland is just somehow it's an outlier, but it isn't. Law enforcement agencies around the country have the similar issues, and the issue is just one basic thing. In these departments, the police investigate themselves. That's what the Internal Affairs Unit is. It's a unit of officers who are tasked with investigating allegations of misconduct against their fellow officers. And so what we have is police investigating themselves, and there's no incentive for them to hold their fellow officers accountable. And what in this incident in Oakland is even, it's so egregious in that not only was the conduct criminal, there was misconduct administratively, but up the chain, the actual report from Internal Affairs was falsified by a captain who directed them to delete things and not make it as bad as it was. So this is so problematic. I wish I could say it's unique only to Oakland, but it is not. Anytime you have an institution where people investigate themselves without independent oversight, this is what you end up with.
Oakland is unique in that it has a number of different sort of governing bodies that are able to fire the chief. You have the mayor, you have the federal monitor, and then you have the Oakland Police Commission, which is a citizen commission that, correct me if I'm wrong, is unique in big cities where they fired the former chief there and Kirkpatrick, but later a civil judge ruled that firing was without cause. So it's almost as if Oakland is half doing it the way you say they should be with this sort of independent civilian organization, but then they just fired the last chief, and it seems like that may have been the wrong call. So it just seems like Oakland has a ton of different moving parts, and what is it, 12 chiefs since 2009? What's going on, do you think?
Right. Well, in Oakland, the police department and what's going on in the city, it's just one hot mess, quite frankly. You've got all these moving parts, and think about it. A federal judge monitoring, you have a police commission, you have a board of supervisors, and look what you end up with. In Oakland, it is a mess. And I just think that the key is this. None of these entities are reimagining policing, looking at the essence. So what we have, you'll hear people say, oh, they're just, a few bad apples. No, 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 no. This is a bad culture. It's a culture that encourages the kinds of faulty investigations that are done in-house, and that hasn't changed. So if we really want to really get things better in a better place, you can't continue doing what you're doing. The recommendations from the independent investigators in this was just to, well, they should follow the rules more closely or maybe have some other rules. No, 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 no. After this report, it's so obvious that the main thing that has to happen, the one thing that has to change, the police have got to stop investigating themselves, dismantle the Internal Affairs Unit, and go to another format entirely. Independent, civilian oversight to investigate all complaints of misconduct and to recommend the discipline.
And to be clear, are you saying that should happen for the Oakland Police Department or police departments all over the country, all of them?
Absolutely, everywhere. And if you look around, and I was the police auditor in San Jose, and I saw how internal affairs work. It's officers investigating officers. And yeah, sometimes the results were appropriate and sometimes they were not, but this shouldn't happen. In other institutions, you don't find this kind of closed system. It should change, and that will change the essence of policing.
Let me play devil's advocate here for just a moment. After George Floyd, we saw the call for reform in policing in that city and in general across the country. And yet, you know, the pushback was we saw police officers resigning. They were having a tough time with recruitment. And, so a lot of cities were caught short and crime went up. It's a very tenuous relationship between, you know, the people that are there to watch over the police department and the people inside the department.
Right. There is a tension always when there are individuals on the outside, civilians like you and me, who are pushing for reform. Inside, there are police unions that do not want these reforms. So there's always that tension. So the issue becomes, who has the final say on this? And when we talk about reform, we're not talking, when you look at the word reform, it means to just kind of change the form. That's not what I'm talking about. So people have said, no, defund the police and take money. That's not what I'm talking about. The trust comes when there is misconduct or allegations of misconduct, that they are investigated independently, objectively, and fairly. That will change how the public looks and interacts with police. But until that happens, you're still going to get the same old, same old. You're not going to have the trust. And why would you? Look at what happened in Oakland. These officers, the sergeant and the officer who was in the car with them, they committed a crime. They committed the hit and run, and it was covered up. How do you expect people to trust? If you had a system that looked at this kind of misconduct and did it independently, just like this investigation did that was ordered by the federal judge, then you have transparency, then you hopefully the officers will be disciplined. And I will tell you, officers that engage in this conduct, they should not wear uniforms at all. It's time for them to go.
But you have a good man, as even you pointed out. The chief, LeRonne Armstrong, he's had a lot on his plate. Is he just going to be a sacrificial lamb?
Well, he gets paid the big bucks for being the leader of this department. And that means if he is a good leader, he has to help change the culture. So this chief could say, you know what? Internal affairs, we're not going to do this anymore. You all are not doing what you should be doing. So the hope is that he will not, as he did in this case. I don't even know if he read the report, read all of the reports, when he approved the discipline of an officer who lied, who committed the hit and run, and said, okay, counseling is fine. No, it is not. It's not fine for anyone. It's insulting, in fact. So if he is given a second chance and he's brought back off of administrative leave, it is time for him. This is when the rubber hits the road. And he has got to step up and say, this needs a cultural change, and he could begin that process.
If you were the mayor, would you give him a second chance? What would it take for him to convince you?
Given his track record, yeah, I would give him a second chance, and I would set the goals and say, this is what I have to see. And show me a cultural change. Show me something where the public can begin to trust that we are conducting ourselves in an appropriate fashion. It's doable. I'm not talking mission impossible here.
Right.
This is absolutely doable in our lifetime.
Fantastic conversation, just pretty much tip of the iceberg. Hopefully we'll have more opportunities to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining us, Judge LaDoris Cordell.
And by the way, if you don't know Judge Cordell, Google her tonight. Quite a resume, and we are honored to have you on with us. Appreciate it. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. We have to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Good evening.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.